All right, welcome all my new subscribers and all my old supporters. I appreciate you. It's a no makeup read. So let's look at channeling May 14th. I'm gonna be 57. Just thankful to be alive. Let's see. What was it? When this man or woman said, when you wanted them, they didn't want you. And now they want you and you don't want them. Now that's vague. So you could have had a relationship online. It could have been a crush. It could be somebody you met at work, a gym or something like that. And it could have just been a faulty start. You know, like you didn't get to meet, or, you know, you didn't even get to initial date, or you did have a date. And maybe it didn't go well. Maybe you had sex, it didn't go well. Maybe you didn't have sex. Maybe they already had a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, something like that was revealed. Maybe they weren't as serious as you. So it's vague, but it's on the premise of, when you wanted me, I didn't want you, which they could have been occupied, they could have been taken, or they could have not wanted you the way you wanted them. And they could have been very much in love with you, right? Circumstances, or they might have didn't see what you see, whatever. And now they want you. Now they want you and you don't want them, right? Some shit could have been revealed. Maybe the mask is taken off. Maybe you don't see them the same. Maybe they didn't pour into you or give you the same amount of energy. I want to be clear, right? And this could be anybody, right? All right. So let's see. I'm only going to give them a voice. I'm not going to give you a voice unless, you know, something comes up in a reading. It's a collective. Only people who are drawn to it. So when you wanted this man or woman, they didn't want you. And now they want you and you don't want them. So I'm going to let them speak. I want to know, probably like why, maybe. We'll see what's going to come up. All right. So go ahead. So when they wanted you, you didn't want them. And now you want them and they don't want you. What you want to say? This woman, man. What you want to say? Yes. There you go. Because they were emotionally unavailable. They were emotionally unavailable. They could have been cold. They could have been breadcrumbing you. They could have had a blocked heart. Not a very caring, loving type woman or man. They could have been in that playgirl energy. They could have been very much in relationships. They could have been very much attached to different people, places, and things. They just was emotionally unavailable. You know, they could have had a big padlock on their heart, and they just wasn't looking at you like that. They was just playing the same games or doing the same things that they normally do. My tags, I'm not gonna fake tags. So it's funny how I start off like that, right? Because I'm channeling this. So they were emotionally unavailable. So they couldn't give you what you wanted to give them, because you could be very, very much emotional type men and women, right? Very caring, very loving, you know, or you expected for them to pour more into you, and they couldn't. They couldn't, because she or he didn't have it to give. And if they were emotionally unavailable, they could have been giving it to other men, other women. They could have had a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, situationships, friends, and benefits, side pieces. They could not be on the level of emotions that you're at. You know, you could be very much up here, and 10, they could be operating at a 3. And you needed that at least 9 or 8. And they just was emotionally unavailable. They couldn't give you what you wanted. And this is them pleading their case. All right, so they was emotionally unavailable. So, you know how we go. I don't want anybody that says, somebody's name can start with a C. I've never seen that letters on there. When you start seeing different things. Somebody's name can start with an S, a C, a H, a L, a A, a G, or E. Thank you for glasses. Thank you for glasses. Yeah. Yeah, and maybe they couldn't see your worth at that time, right? Because glasses, from what I've been wearing glasses a long time, little girl. They're not like so much fix your eyes. They're like magnifying glasses or whatever. So maybe they thought what they thought they wanted, and then when they met you, then you maybe unveiled some stuff. Maybe you kind of seen through them. Maybe you put on a persona. Maybe you compromised yourself. Maybe they didn't even give you a chance to even get to know you. But they wasn't seeing clearly. And now I feel like they see clearly because they say, when I wanted you, I can't cover everything, but only take about 10%, say you shouldn't have belonged to me. When you wanted me, I didn't want you. And even if they pretended they wanted you like that, and maybe at that time, right, the pheromones, or, you know, that you know, what is it, puppy love, or maybe you were very enthusiastic, very energetic, maybe you're very different type men and women, maybe you were just what they wanted, or you're the same type of preference, or different whatever. It was a draw, right? Because you got to get to know the person or meet them, whether you meet them in the DM, the gym, work, whatever, how you meet the person or whatever, right? But they weren't, or your ex, or you're going back to them or something like that. They just wasn't on the same, they wasn't on the same energy, because they was emotionally unavailable. And they could have been in love with somebody else, or they could have been dealing with somebody else, right? But their heart wasn't there. What else do they want to say? What else do you want to say? Offer. They want to offer you something now, right? They don't know if you're going to take the offer. Some of you guys, this man or woman, have already offered you something. It could have been clear communication. It could have been honest, open communication. It could have been in a physical thing, you know, like gifts, you know, trip rides, something like that. Or they could just be thinking like, what can I offer them? Which it could be, you know, somebody could offer me some good communication, some honesty, some integrity, some sincere apologies. Those are offers, right? Somebody else might be like, you know, I want dinner, I want to eat, I want to eat. You know what I mean? I'm going to go on a trip, or we're going to shopping spree, or you know what I mean? Or I need you to offer this or that. So they're just trying to figure out now what they can offer you. And this is pink. Somebody could be dealing with a cancer scare. Somebody could have cancer. Maybe somebody in their family died from cancer. Maybe they weren't there for you. Because I see pink. It don't have to be cancer. It could be some kind of health issue. And this man or woman wasn't there for you. You could have even had a scare. And this man was emotionally unavailable. That's interesting. They was emotionally unavailable. Yeah, see? Right? Yeah. So whatever it was, there was an emotional offer. Maybe you needed some money at that time. Maybe you just needed some moral support, some comfort, you know what I mean? Some kind of something real, and they just couldn't offer you nothing. And they just want you to know they was emotionally unavailable. When you offered them something, maybe you were there for them, and then when it was time for them to offer you something, they wasn't there. It could be anything, mentally, physically, spiritually. You know, maybe they just needed you needed them to pray for you, or just be there. Just stand by me. Just be in my presence. Just answer my text, answer my calls. Be nice, be kind. You know, maybe they were mean, cruel, you know, or something like that. Mean-spirited, very vague in their conversation. You know, not very connected to you. They realized that. So when you wanted them and you needed them, for whatever reason, I can't name everything, y'all. I'm trying to cover things, but they was emotionally unavailable. Anything else they want you to know? You made them look in the mirror at themselves, and they hated what they seen. When you, this is interesting. When I wanted you, you didn't want me. Now you want me, and I don't want you. They had to look in the mirror. When you pulled your energy back, or if they did something to you, or you revealed something, or they said something, whatever happened, or they didn't give you the opportunity, or they got to meet different people, or they stayed where they were at, whatever experiences they had, something went off where they had to, they looked in the mirror, and they could have been mirroring, maybe they feel like they weren't mirroring you. You know what I mean? Like when you were nice and kind, they weren't being nice and kind. They weren't reflecting back what you were giving them. They were giving you something else. Yeah, but a couple things. They looked in the mirror at themselves and they didn't like what they seen, or they could have looked in the mirror and was mirroring other people's behaviors, like if they was chasing, you know, money, greed, or they were, my right foot is burning, they were cold, or wanted their ego massage, or they thought they was the shit, and they walking in a room where other people think they the shit and they ain't shit. Wannabes. That's what I'm hearing angels say, you know what I'm saying? You know, some of them are the shit. Now, some of them got their shit together, the men and women that you're in love with, but this is just a few, minute people. Remember, it's a general reading, and they wasn't the shit. They wasn't. They put on a facade. They wore a lot of masks. They wanted to be more than what they want, bigger than life, and they wasn't. They chasing dreams that maybe might not ever, come to fruition. I don't like to say that because I'm not a dream killer, but it is what it is, right? They were mirroring somebody that they wasn't, when they should have just been their true, authentic self. Yeah, and then they were marrying other people. So other people were doing addictions, or being cold, or emotionally unavailable, or stuff like that, or kissing their ass like that. Then they was like, oh, that's the kind of person I am. But then when they looked in that mirror again and they seen that reflection, they didn't like it. And then maybe you married love, kindness, compassion, communication, consideration, good, whatever, you know what I mean? Or just being your true, authentic self. They didn't like what they see, because that's not what the reflection that they were getting back. Now, it's a collective, and some of y'all don't get mad. Some of y'all, they was marrying some of y'all. Some of y'all was in addictions. You could have been very emotionally unavailable, emotionally unstable. You could have been, the player type men and women, betrayed, lie, manipulation, because it's a general reading, and I'm hearing angels say that, and they were marrying who you were, right? And so they didn't want that. They didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, maybe you were too have preoccupation with career, what people think, or people pleasing and being on the outside, and you know what I'm saying? And maybe you were overly judgmental or something like that. I'm sorry, y'all, it's a collective reading. So be like this. When I do collect that shit, you talking to me, that shit don't apply. Go ahead, it must be them. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody having sex all day, I'll be like, well, shit, I've been celibate 11 years, I haven't even kissed a man. I said, I know that shit ain't talking to me. But they be like, somebody wants sex and she want a man, I'd be like, shit's me. you get what I'm saying? So you have to it's only what you're drawn to. It's 18 plus, adult material language, it's entertainment purposes only, but it's still a reading. It's still coming from the spiritual world, right? But only take what resonates. It's just kind of giving you a glimpse. I know I got to explain that because I got some new people who are not familiar with tarot card readings. I met some people along my way. But anyway, so they could be mirroring something that they seen in you. When you wanted them, they didn't want you. They didn't want to be a part of that at all. Cheating, lying, deceptive, compromising yourself. Maybe you had a sense of self-esteem, low self-worth, something like that. They didn't want to be a part of that. They wanted something different. And so you could have been I'm hearing, you could have been very much emotionally unavailable. And this man or woman could have been very kind, loving, caring, compassionate, consistent, because I don't know who's looking in, and you was emotionally unavailable, and this man or woman go, oh heck no, I can't be with a man or woman like that. And they could have been pouring into you and loving you and being encouraging and supportive, and then maybe they found out that you have some secrets, you know what I'm saying? But they got in. Somebody had the key to this padlock, and they found out you had side pieces, or you wasn't that nice, or you were slandering somebody's name, or you were gossiping, or you were talking about them, stuff like that. And then when you wanted them, they didn't want you. So they didn't want you because they didn't want to be a part of that. You could have been a player, a liar, something like that, or chasing something. It's just something they seen about you that they didn't want. Want to make sure I'm clear because I don't know who's looking in. It's a collective, right? Anything else? When you wanted me, I didn't want you, and now I want you, and you don't want me. On those premises, what you want to say? Some of y'all got kids. I'm going to say that they want to talk now. This man or woman wants to talk. I don't know what side you're on. You have to, whatever. You could be that person that they don't want to be bothered with, or you could be that person who this person was emotionally unavailable with, and it sucked a lot. But at the end of the day, somebody wants to talk to you, right? Somebody wants to talk. Someone wants to talk. Yeah. So you have to decide. So if you're the person on the receiving end that got hurt, this man or woman wants to talk to you. Yeah. Just funny because that's what we're doing. Anything else? They wanted you, but you didn't want them. Now they want you, and you don't want them, and now they want to talk about it. Illusion. Yeah, because this man or woman, they didn't see your worth. I already went through that. Y'all not talk so much. Talking to be like, shut up, just get to the point. Yeah, they bit this illusion, right? They bit this the romantic illusion, the lust illusion, the greed illusion, the ego, the bravado illusion, what they said, what they thought they seen, who, what, when, and where. It was just an illusion. They bit the apple, right? They bit the apple, and they feel really, really bad, And maybe they talked about you. Maybe they didn't see your worth. Maybe they didn't want to get to know you. Maybe they didn't get to know you or something like that, and it was just a big illusion, and they realize that now, right? Maybe the way she's seen herself, she's seen herself bigger than life, or I don't need this man, or I don't need this woman. You have to use the genders or whatever, and they realized it was an illusion because they wasn't being their true, authentic self. So now they realize why you didn't want to talk to them. Or when they wanted you, you didn't want them, and when now they want you, and you don't want them. It's because they weren't who they said they were. There was an illusion. Let me give you one more from them. They bit the apple. The apple pretty though. Apples taste good, but it's a little green worm, and the apple bit that illusion, and they bit a big chunk. So this man or woman really thought highly of themselves. They could have dealt with pride and ego. People could have fed their pride and ego. So they could have felt like they didn't have to deal with you. Now, isn't it funny how the spirit world lines up why they want to confess and be sincere, and they want you to know and come through me as a conduit? Because they want to compromise now. See, I didn't know. And y'all could be very much opposites, different beliefs, heights, religion, ethnic groups, creeds. Somebody could be a tarot card reader. Somebody could be a Christian. Somebody could be an atheist. Somebody could have different political views, different type of friend styles, walk styles, clothing styles. Somebody wants children, somebody don't. Somebody ambitious, somebody not. It could be the exact same church, same mosque, something like that. But you believe this one, they believe that. You don't do this, you don't do that. And maybe you talk. There's some opposite something, race, creed. You know what I mean? Really, something. But at the end of the day, this person wants to compromise, right? Maybe they thought what was the opposite would keep you apart, but actually being an opposite. I had an MBA, so I had my own business at one time. time, was an MBA consultant. But you ever realize that when you go in and you're doing work for other people, that diversity is where it's at, right? Allow other people to put their input in, build some kind of cohesiveness, because it builds, and that's why I tell my son, can't tell him what to do. It's his company, his plan. You know what I mean? Diversity is good. I tell my daughters, with their little business, diversity is good because you get a different pool set. But I think this person I own, that's textbook, right? It's textbook. It's proven, right? Because remember, it was all white society, right? And then now we got a lot of different minorities and melting pots. Now you got people who didn't like rap music, or they didn't like black people dance or hairstyle. That's the $1 trillion business now. Black hair, black dance, black swag, black talk. When we travel out the country, you see people in Norwegian coming through, and they got that swag, and black man taught you how to dance, taught you how to walk. You know what I'm saying? They don't even walk like that no more. They done gave that to you. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest, right? It's nothing stereotypic. It's nothing that's not common knowledge. And this is what this person learned, that some of y'all could be tarot card readers, psychic, seers, spiritual. They could be very, very religious or atheist, something like that. But they realize now, when you wanted them, they were looking at things that were very minute, that didn't matter. It was about the love. It was about the heart. And now they want to compromise, right? Because they was in an illusion. All right. They could have had people the exact same like them, and it wasn't getting anywhere. They could have dealt with people that was the opposite and wasn't getting anywhere. But they realized you're a unique man, you're a unique woman, and they didn't see you like that. And so when you wanted them, they didn't want you. And when and now they want you, and now you don't want them. Anything else? Why did I turn them down? Because you could have turned them down now, or they could have turned you down, and it hurt you. This is very hard for them to come through, but they want to talk. They need a condiment. What is this? God, dog. They want, see, I feel like they hurt you. They rejected you. They did something to you. You found out something was revealed or something. They wasn't emotionally available. They didn't do you right as men and women, but you bring them comfort, and they want to comfort you now. They want to come to you, or they want y'all to get back together. Or they want y'all to talk, or they want to give you a chance, whatever position, because you brought this man or woman so much comfort. Look at how much peace you brought this woman. Look how much peace you brought this man. So much comfort, and they want that. They miss that because they're not meeting that with anybody, right? They can't get that level of comfort, right? Yeah, and they realize that after, because when you have a lot of choices and decisions, or you're in your bravado or your ego, or maybe they're just very much solo or whatever, ambitious or whatever, or just doing their own thing. They don't have to have anybody. You feel like your life is so, mapped out, and then so you don't really take time to really get to know somebody, look at somebody, or your preferences are too high, or your belief systems or your differences. And now this person realized you brought them so much comfort. Let's kick these. Why does this person feel like when you wanted them, they didn't want you. And now they want you and you don't want them. When I wanted you, you didn't want me. So they're saying when you wanted me, I didn't want you. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't want you. Not like that, not on that level. And now I want you and you don't want me. Go ahead and plead your case. What is this? 9 of Cups. They feel like you're your wish fulfillment. It's a chalice. Now, this is a beautiful card. So I know when I said they feel like you're your wish fulfillment. Now, she guarded up with that shotgun, so they know your boundaries is high. As men will even set these boundaries. Maybe you have some choice words. Might want to check out some of my other readings and stuff like that. So they don't know. They don't know. Some of y'all could have disassociated yourself from this person. They feel like you're wonderful. You're a great reward. They have a lot of wishes and dreams. What is this? Oh, they want something to come true. Positive come true. Maybe they're doing affirmations. Maybe they're manifesting you or whatever, but they know you're guarded. See, it's like the after effect. I mean, it's nothing new under the sun, the same story. Somebody you didn't want, and we could just use a celebrity. They always go, okay, we're going to be fair since I'm talking about black people. It's my channel though. 18 plus adult tarot language. People talk about everything on tarot channels. You have to see them. They even got Christians, gospel songs, Holy Ghost. They got a lady, I love her. She's a heroin addict. She's still recovering, and she's a counselor. They got all kinds of people. I love it, right? They got LGBT, queer, every religion, from everything, right? So you have to get in where you fit in, right? And I would say to you, go to other tarot card readers, because I'm not a tarot card reader. I'm a seer, and I'm trying to do intuitive, and they can tap into stuff that maybe you might want to hear. But this person feels like you're the wish fulfillment, but you got your guards up and your boundaries, and rightfully so. And they don't know how to tear them down. Now, I talk so much, I forgot. What did y'all want me to say? They think about you all the time. Then they threw away a blessing. She got bullets ready. They just feel like, I feel like they don't know how to to make up with you, or they don't know how to get back in because they fucked up severely. 18 plus adult material and language. But you're definitely who they want to be with. I don't feel them guarded up at all. I feel like that they could put on a mask. I just did F you and F you back, right? But in that reading, I really don't want to give it away, and I normally do. But in that reading, somebody really did love somebody, right? But it was a mask. And I feel like this person, I don't know what side you want, this person knows that you're guarded up, and rightfully so. Shit, you wanted them, they didn't want you. Anything else? It'll come back to me. Oh, I remember I was going to say, he's a celebrity. Be going off on a tangent. You ever notice like it'd be a nerdy African-American, black American, we change every year. And nobody liked them. He's like, you know, black women just don't like me like that. They don't look at me like that. And then he go get a nice looking white woman, or she treat him nice, or non-black woman. And then some of the sisters get mad. I'm generalizing, stereotype. Get mad at me later. I don't care. Be careful in my comments though, because you will get blocked. You don't get second chances. I'm not Jesus. But at the end of the day, so treat me with respect, like I treat you, okay? But at the end of the day, then they go, he don't like black women, but you didn't give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? He was looking at the nerdiness, or he didn't look a certain way. Well, this is this. On that premise, on that energy, this man or woman didn't see your value. They didn't recognize you or your contribution, like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook DM or your crush or your online dating. We'll cover all y'all together. The encouragement, the support, you was listening to him, talking to her, him like that. They discounted that. Your side piece, and Taurus, Mr. and Mrs. Side piece, you're there for them, you're supporting them, you're sleeping with them, you're making them feel good, you're laughing, you're giving them that, that extra, something that they need or something that they provided they didn't get, or they feel like they didn't get it and have it home. They didn't appreciate that. Husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, keep all of them all the same. Common law. You know what I mean? Because I think they're the primary. You know what I mean? This person didn't appreciate you. They didn't want to be emotionally available. They didn't give you one. You can get married. People could be sleeping single in a double bed. Barbara Mandrell singers. But at the end of the day, you get what I'm saying? So, remember Crystal Gale? Don't want to make my brown eyes blue. Yeah, okay. Anyway, some little country music. Some songs. But at the end of the day, and that's real old. The music. So, but at the end of the day, let's think of Alabama. Remember Alabama? Devil went down. Stop playing. Oh, y'all thought Beyonce was the only one? Y'all know Cowboys was originally black, right? That's another story. A cow, a boy. Okay, it makes sense. Anyway, at the end of the day, don't mind me. Don't mind me. I know I've been listening to tarot card readers and they be telling stuff, and I go, okay, make sure you get the root of that, because we want to make sure we tell the truth. And a lot of times in the spiritual world, a lot of African Americans was pushed back on it, so they had to suppress their spiritual gifts. Just a little insight. And now people call this a new wave thing, a new awakening, but people have been doing this for thousands of years. In Cyrus, they found Cyrus. I forgot that tribe. They had already found Cyrus. And then, the observers and observatories, they just now with their scopes, probably last 20 years found Cyrus. This tribe had found Cyrus with no instruments, right? It was a spiritual thing, right? So I just want to say that. Y'all not be talking. Just make sure you always get the root of things, right? Because there's all kinds of people who are spiritual in different races and ethnic groups. Globally. Okay, let's keep that. Now, you see how I said that? Now, some of y'all could be very spiritual and you scared the shit out of this man or woman, right? Because maybe they knew, and they don't even have to be spiritual. Maybe they was taught and they did things a certain way. So they just knew from the bad. This is isolated for some of y'all. They was not going to give you a chance. Religious, spiritual, or whatever, or different, you know what I mean? Or different race or ethnic groups or something like that. Maybe your food was different like that. But this person realized that the differences, could have pushed this person back, or what people thought. And they have some regrets from that. Anything else? Because you're this person's wish fulfillment. They didn't want you. You wanted them, they didn't want you, and now they want you, and you don't want them. Give me this last card, please. Anything else you want to say? Why do I feel like a 6-1? 9 of Hazard. Because they could have been they could have been tied to that. He tied, chained to what people said or to their greed, materialistic things, the pleasures of the world. They could have been chasing everything but you. Very ambitious, materialistic possessions, entrepreneur type spirit. But it says evaluate what's important. They didn't evaluate what was important, and you were important. You didn't fit in this man or woman's life, right? For whatever. They could have been, fuck boy, fuck girls. They could have been very, very ambitious or, entrepreneur type men and women. They could have did a lot of things. They could have been tied to possessions and preoccupation with everything other than you. And now something happened in their life. Epitome went off, and now they need to evaluate what's important because they realize they tied to that and they're drained. And this is a zombie, and it's not where they want to be. And it's funny because y'all going to aha moment. Well, I could have told her that. I could have told him that. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't see that, right? And that's why they're coming through saying, That's why they're coming. Well, okay, I can do these. That's why they're coming through saying, when you wanted me, I didn't want you, and now I want you and you don't want me. Help me to get out of self. Help me get out of ego. Help me provide love, encouragement, support. I hear them say 2. Go ahead and plead your case. They just had an awakening, that's all. Yeah, they stayed in limbo for a long time. They did a lot of thinking, but they got a lot of shit they got to own up to, a lot of consequences and repercussions, right? They got some secrets. Yeah, they've been through some testing. They're scared to go. They don't know how to approach you, what to say, how to admit that they were wrong, but they know that they got to do it. Eventually, he got to come down because that blood going to be coming to his head. He's upside down, but they're still thinking they're in limbo, right? Which direction they want to go, but they do know that they love you, right? They do know that they want you. I want you. They fucked up severely. This is fuck up severely energy. Anything else? Why did they fuck up severely? Moon. And the moon came upside down. So this is what I'm saying, because the moon talks about secrets and shit being revealed. You could have found out some stuff about this man or woman. They could have not dealt with their dysfunction, their trauma. You know, they could love you and didn't say, or they could have had a lot of secrets. When this came upside down, I don't know what it means. I don't care. I'll find out later. But I just feel like this man or woman now, they want to tell you. They want to be honest. They want to deal with them consequences and repercussions and reveal those secrets. It's funny how this card came out, right? Yeah, it ain't gonna kill you, but it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be something that you need to talk about and you need to discuss in order for it to move on. They might not even look at you the same. Maybe they're used to skinny women and you flat abs. You know, I consider myself have flat abs compared to being up here. Yeah, this flat to me shit. Fuck y'all. Plus a dog material, baby. I love myself. Somebody in the comment gonna say, I don't know, how you doing, young man? Because I didn't have no makeup. Self-love, you're beautiful or something like that. But you have to question, do you have self-love? You read all that into that. Do you see my kids? I raised them. I can instill that in them, right? And the same thing I told one, I might deal with some guilt, you know what I'm saying? Or I might be over sensitive, but self-esteem, Terry does not have. I mean, low self-esteem, I've never had low self-esteem, right? Insecurities, yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. I've always been very confident. It's people who try to make you feel like you ain't pretty or you ain't good enough or you got to downplay your intelligence and your looks. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're very, very smart. Maybe you're very, very attractive. And this man or woman is very, very smart, very attractive. They feel like it wasn't enough room for them. They wanted to be the shine. They wanted to be the light. You know what I mean? And you was taking away their shine and their light. And they could feel bad about that. Because when you say something in reading, comes in a reading, it sounds stupid. But you know what I mean? Maybe this person dealt with that. Maybe they were jealous because as a man or a woman, you shine too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they expected you to be a little bit lower form, a little inferior. And you're like, nah, shit, I'm your equal, if not superior. Let me stop fucking with you. Some of y'all going, true that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe so when you came out, maybe you were very humble, very meek type men and women. You just cool, standing off, but you wasn't like a big, personality or, or just that, and then they didn't like it, and then maybe you started evolving and they started really seeing you. I remember this man told me at the gym, you look so good, shit, I'm in the gym. And look, I have nothing against nobody getting dressed up for the gym, putting on a full makeup. I'm going to the gym to sweat. So you look there, I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym. I'm not here to impress you. You know what I mean? I told you I love the Cinderella. I love to this downplay, and then I like to get fixed up because I like to look in the mirror and go, oh, you look nice. You clean up well, right? I don't got to be pretty all day. I tell my girls and my son, you got to love yourself, right? Go back to that self-esteem, right? All right. Anything else to get a last card? I know I'm talking. Y'all miss me? I'm supposed to take some months sabbaticals, but I ain't took a sabbatical yet. This person played both sides. Backstabbers. Who's seen that? The OJs, I don't want to write to that. This person played both sides, and this is a shock. I remember I'd be talking to somebody, and say this man told me to call him John, and everybody else calling them Big Boy. Why you call him John? He never been calling John. I don't know him from John Norman's Big Boy. Well, Big Boy got a lot of shit with him, right? So I don't even know him from John. I think John is really, really nice because where I met John. But Big Boy might be who he really is, right? And so I feel like this person played both sides. Y'all get it? Or Susie. She told me to call her Susie, right? And her name is Lisa. Everybody know her as Lisa. I met her as Susie. She doing flowers and she nice and sweet. She over here, and Lisa, she doing the bump. She working the corner. Ain't nothing wrong with that girl. Let me get that money. But you get what I'm saying? Like, she's totally different, and people know her from that. And this is what this person is. They gave you the representative. They didn't give you the real person, and they play both sides. And this person is spying on you. Yeah, and through that spying, they're finding out who you are, right? The little nitbits and pieces that they could put together. But nothing of that, they played both sides, and they enjoyed it. I gotta get one more. And then I hit my deck. Let me wrap this up. Got it again. You're their wish fulfillment. You got it again. This is a dark wish fulfillment, right? This is the shotgun. But they realize, though, that you're very colorful. Some of y'all could be part of LGBTQ. Some of you could have your own style. Some of you could be plus sizes. Some of you could be black. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but they realize that they see you this way, guarded up in your boundaries, but then they go, rightfully so. He should be guarded. He should have some boundaries up with me, or she, right? You have to do the gender. And this is who they really are. They were my wish fulfillment. I didn't see it. I didn't appreciate it. Maybe other people had to show them to them. Maybe they had to, take a retrospective look and reflect at their self. But now they realize you're very colorful. You're very illuminating, very happy, very kind. You get what I'm saying? The whole illumination with yellow. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all can be very unique, very eccentric. You know what I mean? Just something about you, the way you posture, the way you carry yourself. They didn't see that at first. They seen this darkness. They wanted to see it because they projected that shit on you. They wanted to see this dark side of you as men and women. We all got maybe a little dark side. I don't know. Some people don't. Some people have alter egos. Some people don't. You know what I mean? But then they realized that this outweighed this. And they understood why you had to set boundaries up. And this is what they want. You got 2 wish fulfillment cards. So this is why I have to come through. When you didn't want them, when you wanted them, they didn't want you. Now they want you, and you don't want them. And then they realize, damn, you're their wish fulfillment. Let's give them the last card. Anything else they want you to say? Now you're their damn wish fulfillment. Now they're not in the dark. Now they have a very clear view of who you are as a man or a woman, and they want that. Give me your last cards. What else you want to say? I seen that 2 of Cups. They wanted you, you didn't want them. Now they want you, and you don't. Now you want them, and they don't want you. Give me your last card. They want to move forward. Some of them desire you. You are temptation. They lust. You're very sexual. You got the sexual appeal. They have the sexual desire. A lot of them masturbate. They envision you. They dream about you. You do it for this man. Someone want to get you pregnant. Some of them just move forward. They want to have business with you. Just whatever. They could work with you. This is the rod, wands, and staffs. Yeah, because they could have been in their head. They could be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. They could have been very, very much in their head. You do it for this man or woman. You ignited a spark. And see, the spark was already there. It was just sitting there laying dormant, right? And they try to act like that fire wasn't burning in their heart and in their stomach. And then butterfly, they ignored that shit. But now they can't, because now they realize you're their wish fulfillment. Someone want to have sex with y'all. Or if y'all had sex, they want to do it again. Not, that's all they think about. Sorry. Anything else? Now they desire. Yeah. They have other people in your business and they put you in competition. They feel really, really bad. Now they're standing their ground. They're getting people out of their business. They're cleaning the house, cleaning behind them stoves and the refrigerators, sweeping up under them rugs, telling people to mind your damn business. I don't care if we are different. I don't care if he or she is flighty. I don't care if they look nerdy. I don't care if he's fine or she fine. I don't care if they strip us. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if they bosses. I don't care if they with religious beliefs, atheist, political views. My foot is burning. They just want to stand their ground now, right? Because this talks about outside influences and putting you in competition, and they did put you in competition. And now you're first. Now you're primary. Now I don't know. This could be past. It could happen in your past. It could be present, ongoing, or this could be projected in your future. All my readings of times you might come back and go, oh, she want me now, or he want me now. This is what this reading means. But they do desire, and they will get this epiphany, this awakening, if you will. Give me your last card, Ray. Yeah, moon twice. They have some secrets. It's heavy. I told you, y'all don't have a conversation. This man, you could have revealed some secrets on this man or woman, and it was devastating. Third parties, lying, cheating, down low. You know what I mean? Down low is when a man or woman sleeps with the same sex and they don't want to admit it. Or, they could have took you for their money. They could have been a sheep in wolf clothing. They could have stabbed you in the back. They could have talked about you, gossip. You know what I mean? They feel really, really bad. Some secrets was revealed. He found out he or she got another wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, some side pieces. Or they talked about you, slandering your name. Shit, like you found out some shit. Some shit was revealed. You got 2 moons. moons. Very deceptive type person, very illusions. Illusions came out, very illusions, or they had romantic illusions and it didn't come to what they thought it was. Funny, because they got 2 moons. Who the hell get 2 moons? The man or woman that didn't want you, they did you a favor, because this man or woman was very deceitful, very deceptive. You know what I'm saying? They put on a persona and they feel bad. They got to look at themselves in the mirror. They got 2 moons. Learn about the moon card. They got 2 moons. They got 2 moons. So they thought that they was doing something, but they was hurting themselves. You was a prize to them and they didn't value. Let me get your last card. Make it good. If you got 2 moons, a lot of y'all could be tarot card readers, psychics and seers and high priestesses and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you found out some shit about this person. You're very well balanced. They love that. You could have a dual polarity, like you could operate on your masculine and feminine energy, or you don't have to be a psychic, a seer, tarot card reader, any of that. You know what I mean? Clairvoyant, none of that. You could just have this keen intuition, like I feel shit as men and women. I feel shit. They knew something about you, but then at the same time, she puts herself first, and so you could have been very, very spiritual and felt this person coming in. Felt that you should be this for this person, love this person, but this person fucked with you the wrong way, right? They didn't appreciate it. They took you for granted, and then she's very well balanced. Now she's a dual personality, so she could be spiritual, but at the same time she could be grounded and cuss your ass out, or put a little tick in your ear, him or her, or pull their energy back, and that's what they realized. And they took you for granted. They didn't realize who you was. You was chosen. This is the high priest. They didn't realize the power, the magnitude, the manifestation, the gifts you had. They didn't realize that. They took that shit. They probably laughed and shit at that. They could do them pick-a-pals. They could come to your channel. You could have said something to this man or woman. That shit came true. And they scared the shit out of this. This is only for a few people. You know what I'm saying? That shit scared the shit out of this man or woman. They wasn't given equally. They was taken. They wasn't pouring into you like you was pouring into them. Now they wanted to be balanced, more harmonious. They had hidden motives. They could have just wanted sex. They could have wanted money. They could have wanted you to feed their ego. You know, you could be very attractive men and women, or you have something that they have, or something that you could provide, and it made them feel good, but they wasn't giving back, and they hated that. Let me get it last card. This is what they see. And now they want commitment. Now they want to do it the right way. Now they want to do it the right way. Maybe when you wanted commitment, they didn't. Maybe they wasn't trying to be committed to you. I knew it was, I should have said it out loud. I knew the 6 of Wands was going to come. I was saying it in my reading. I feel like the 6 of Wands is going to come, but I didn't say it loud. Now they look at your self-worth, your achievements. Now they recognize you. Right? And then they see how other people recognize you. So they want to be a part of that, because they didn't see it. Maybe other people had to show them your worth, your value, your recognition, your achievements, your successes, and that it wasn't easy for you. This person, and you could have been thrown into situations that you didn't want to be thrown in, but you survived. You're survivors, and you're activists, and you advocate for people. This person didn't see any of your self-worth, and now that they do. It's funny. I knew this card was going to come, and I was going to say, I think the 6 of Wands is going to come, but I didn't say that loud. Yeah. It's funny. And now look at the steed, like you could have left this man or woman behind now, like you don't want to be bothered. But I'm gonna ask this question on y'all. Do y'all want this man or woman back? It's a yes or no. If this person do their healing, if they get an awakened card, if they get out the past and they really see their, change their ways, and this is about a healing and awakening and growth and some kind of spiritual thing that they have to go through and some kind of life lesson. If they do their work, yeah, probably, yeah. But if not, they just gonna sit there and still dwell in the past, don't pour out all that emotional, psychological, mental, physical, or that manipulation or that bullying or using people, talking about people, not growing up immature, living in the past, then no. And this person y'all could be asking about could be a celebrity and a star. They could have a lot of people, worshiping them, isolated. And some of y'all could be a celebrity or a star, or you could just be a star in your own right. YouTube channel, Instagram, work, an author, or, somebody on your job. I don't care if you're at McDonald's, but people look up to you too. And this is what they realized, because they didn't see your worth. They did not see your worth. Yeah, this person is craving you. Y'all both addicted to each other. This person is obsessed with you, possessive, very territorial. This person has been very angry, mean, deceptive, talked about you, slandered your name, cunning. This man or woman could have been very greedy. They could have been chasing everything but you. Money, sex, power, material things, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, when I ask the question, y'all both are very, very much addicted to each other. I'm sorry. Collective. Y'all both very much desire each other. You crave each other. You could be mad at each other. Yeah, you gotta have some choice words, but I feel like you feel like just as much as them. And he's gonna have a conversation with her. And like I said, I feel like a conversation is gonna be had. It's not gonna be pretty, but you'll get through it. You're gonna have to build through it. Let me see what this card is. Because at the end of the day, y'all both want this. You want the 10 of Cups, 10 of Chalice. Y'all want to be together. You want to be committed. You want to have some kind of family, friends. I feel like their outside friends had to show them their worth. Their outside friends showed them their worth. Now, you got some outside friends friends who don't like you, talked about you, used you, didn't even give you a chance. Some of them, you know, just don't like you, maybe because y'all don't have the same beliefs, stuff like that. Devil energy, I want to make sure I cover that. But then you got some outside friends that you think that not your friend or not in alignment with you, they took up for you, or their friends and their family or whatever, whoever, they stood up for you and they showed this man or woman your worth, and they didn't see it. They didn't see it because this person was in their head. They was trying to be methodical, try to figure shit out, try to be Mr. King of Swords, and he always has some kind of partner, girlfriend, side piece. They try to play games, use all that mind manipulation. You know what I'm saying? He knows better. He knows how to be a fair judge. And this man or woman was in the wrong energy. They didn't see. They wanted to see you harshly and judge you harshly. He's supposed to be a fair judge, and he wasn't being a fair judge. Some of y'all, this is a long distance relationship, but it's called the cycle is closing, and it's an elevation. This man or woman grew. They had an awakening. If they're doing their healing, they're doing it now. This is a healing card. This is a world card. They're feeling very optimistic. They got an eye opener now. They thought their eyes open, and this is what they want from you. They want this. I didn't know this used to be a twin flame card. Right? But anyway, they want this loving. They want to value you like you value them. They want to pour into you like you poured into them. They didn't see your worth. This is two people. This is working together, building together, business together, love relationship together. But we got to compromise. We got to cooperate. We got to be considerate. We got to be consistent. We got to hear each other. We got to value each other's differences, and we become a power team. I've never seen power teams where everybody look exactly the same. You might see two pretty people, two handsome people, somebody, you know, like Serena Williams on the right side. She plays tennis, she brings her thing, and then her husband owns one app. I forgot what it was called, right? So he breaks so they both, and they're different, and then they're also different. They're different races, right? They have different beliefs, different upbringings. Compton, he probably from somewhere else. So it's like that, but they make it work. And this is what this person realized, that you guys are very, very different, and they shouldn't have treated you like you were that you weren't as important to them. But I do feel like, so you can get this out before I leave, somebody helped them realize and see your value and your worth and how much they really do love you. This is a love card, and they can have this with you, that committed relationship. So this person didn't want you. When the person wanted you, you didn't want them, and now they want you and you don't want them. But I do feel like y'all both love each other, and you may end up together if this woman or man did their work. Later.